Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask Rob and Rob, the show where you get your questions in and we give you our best efforts at an answer. And that format's been running for a lot of episodes now. And it's a popular one. So let's continue that roadshow and remind you how you can get involved and get your very own question answered.
Yep, oh so simple. Give us a call on 013 808 00035 or go to propertyhub.net/ask.
So our first question in today is from Bruno.
Hi, Rob and Rob. Bruno here. Just to start off with saying thanks for everything you do. Your information is very helpful. So I've got a question with regards to buy-to-let mortgages. So my situation is I have 2 buy-to-lets, hopefully a third in the next month or so. And my aim is to get to 5 buy-to-lets. So that's my initial goal, and we'll see what happens after that. Now, my question with regards to buy-to-let mortgages is a general question, really. So I've noticed that the more buy-to-lets I buy, the more difficult it is to actually get a buy-to-let mortgage, and the application is more challenging. I guess from the bank side, there's more of a risk because of the number of mortgages I'm taking out. So just an example, HSBC have advised me that if I was to have 3 buy-to-lets, I would not be eligible for a 4th buy-to-let mortgage because I'll be considered a portfolio landlord, which they don't deal with. And not only that, to get out a residential mortgage, if I have 4 buy-to-lets, I would not even be eligible for that. And I've had difficulties also obtaining a mortgage for a limited company, which honestly I've just given up on now because it's just, in my case, impossible, really. Yeah, just to get some advice and tips from you guys on what would you advise and how to go about this and searching for a quality mortgage broker, which I find a challenge, to be honest. So yeah, any advice, any tips on this, any information would be great to hear. Thanks.
We don't talk about mortgages, Bruno. No, we do. And sorry for that lame Encanto joke. You probably hate that film. Right. Mortgages. Do you have too many to get 5? The quick answer is no. So you keep using HSBC, and that's great. And they do have a limit. And most lenders will have a limit. But the total limit, where it starts to get a little bit more challenging, and this is not an official number, it's just a rough guide, is around about 10 mortgages. Now, that does not mean when you get to your 10th buy-to-let, you can't get a mortgage on the 11th. It just means that the general criteria for a lot of lenders is that individually, they may lend you 2, 3, 4 mortgages, and they're happy for you to have mortgages with others. But if your total is 10, that might trigger another part of their criteria, which says, no, we don't lend to people with 10 or more. Now, for some, it'll be 10. For some, it'll be 15. For some, they won't have that number at all. And some might be even lower than 10. But the good news is you'll be able to continue to build your portfolio. And this is where a mortgage broker is worth their weight in gold. You've kept going to HSBC, and that might be because you bank with them. And I understand it's easy, right? You bank with them. They tell you they do mortgages. You think, you know what, save myself some broker fees. I'll just go straight to them. Great. And I'm not saying what you've done is the wrong thing, but as you progress your portfolio, I'd seriously recommend that you at least engage with a broker to get some further advice, because they will be able to take you to that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th property with relative ease. And they will know the lending criteria, if they're a good broker, of all these lenders. So you don't get to a position where you put your application in and then you find that you can't do a deal with them. They won't lend to you. So work with a broker. Rob and I work with a mortgage broker on every single investment we make. I'm not giving you a name of a broker here. It's not because all mortgage brokers, say, here you go, Rob, thanks for keep talking about us. It's not that at all. Use a broker that is experienced with buy-to-let, and you will be glad that you do, particularly as your portfolio grows. They'll know the criteria inside out. They'll be able to assess the best rates overall, including all the costs, not just the headline rates. And they'll save you time as well. So the good news is you're absolutely fine for now. When you get to 10, you'll also be fine, but you'll definitely need a broker then. But my advice is, as your portfolio is starting to get a little bit bigger, engage with one now. That few £100 you will spend will save you time and ultimately, I think, money as well.
Okay, let's have our second question from Alexander.
Hi, Rob and Rob. Thanks for all your content you put out. I have a question regarding insurance on a few different buy-to-let properties, and I wondered whether you would recommend using the same company to insure all of the properties, because right now I have different insurance policies with different companies. So I just wondered what you guys thought.
Alexander, great question. Does it matter if you use the same company to insure all your properties? I don't think so. I'm not convinced it makes any difference whether you use the same one or different companies. I use the same company for all of mine because it's easier. And for me, running a portfolio is all about ease and simplicity. What I've always intended to do, but haven't done yet, is try to align all the renewal dates so all my policies renew on the same day of the year, so I only have to deal with actually making a payment and dealing with the admin once. It doesn't happen every month. Haven't achieved that yet, but that's the goal. There may be risks that I'm not aware of, and what if this company goes bust and then that affects all my properties? I think that's pretty unlikely. So I'd put this one firmly into the category of not that important in the scheme of things. So it's good that you have insurance and it's good that you're thinking about it, but you can either keep things as they are, you can sort of look around for the cheapest rate and go with whichever is cheapest every time a policy comes up for renewal, or you can just gradually migrate them all over to the same provider. Completely up to you, whatever works best. So I hope, Alexander, that puts your mind at rest.
So thank you for your questions and thank you for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with the Property Podcast and, of course, back next week with Ask Rob and Rob. So until then, take care, have fun, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.